Hello guys, as I promised last time, I'm going to make a review on this Snap-on M2 lab scope wireless module. This unit I got on eBay a month ago. Came with a kit with my Snap-on Verdict and VCI module and this M2 module. Well, this is designed as a standalone unit or a wireless unit with Verdict or Verus. Either one will work. Verus has to be the wireless. This unit, it's pretty, pretty good size. It can be used as a standalone unit, as a digital multimeter, or one-channel graphing multimeter, single-channel graphing multimeter, or a dual-channel lab scope. This is the side of the screen. In the back of the unit, we have a little kickstand. And if you press this button, we can flip it all the way up and use it as a hook. You can put it on hook it up on the hood. It's a little flimsy. I wish they make it a little bit better, but it is what it is. This in the back also we have a battery pack that looks like this. You unscrew this little screw on the bottom, pop this cover off, and to change the battery, it's not really easy to do because this hooks up to a little connector on the motherboard, and you literally have to take the screwdriver, kind of pry it off, and the part that's soldered to on the motherboard is really loose. So every time I do this, I'm kind of afraid it might get some issues with it, but that's something I'm not really crazy about. But that's just the way it's made. Also comes with 3 test leads, black, yellow, black, red and green. They're just a single leads. They are different than regular, the other Snap-on leads, like the yellow one. It comes in the Verus or Modus. This unit will work with these kind of leads as well. So. Alright, so let's see, unit itself, as I said, it can be used as a digital multimeter. We have a main knob here. It's pretty much the same as a voltmeter, multimeter. So in this setting you're going to measure current, direct current, alternate current. Now in this setting also we can use we can measure a frequency and duty cycle. You can actually change the setting by pressing this snap-on button, the quick button. You can go to hertz, duty cycles, and also we can go to min-max scale as well when you go back to voltage. And you press it, if you keep holding it, and it goes back to voltage. And you can also have a min-max option here. Now in this setting, we can use this as a graphing multimeter. I press the graph. Okay. Now we got a resistance. The next setting is continuity and diodes. Again, you got 2 options here. So by pressing this S button, go to a diode setting. So press again, goes back. In this setting, we can measure pressure, and then amperage, current, and temperature. And there is an option to a graph also in this setting. This is to measure capacitors here. This setting is for a lab scope. You can use it as a 2-channel lab scope. I didn't use it as a 2-channel. It's okay. I'm not really crazy about it. The screen is kind of small, but it works. It's okay. Now these F buttons here, you can see like this one is display, freeze, scale, and time, and you're setting up your scale on your lab scope, and that's that. And now when you turn the knob to this setting here, this is basically wireless communication with your scope, your main unit. So right now you could see it was red, and when I turn it, let's see, it was red, and then it will turn blue because I'm still connected to my Verdict. And once it Once it turns blue, then it's connected to verdict. I'll have to go manual. So let's see. Now it's turned. So it tells me that this time, this point, nothing else will work. You can see that nothing, everything is disabled. In this setting, everything will be done through your main tool, verdict or Verus. Okay. So next, if you need a manual for this, you can get straight from your verdict or Verus. It's in a menu, or you can get it off the website. Snap-on website. They have they have a file. You can upload DPF file on the Snap-on website. Now, if you want to use this unit with Verus, you have to sync this unit to Verus or Verus Pro. However, you have to be aware that if when you do that, you're gonna kind of limited your Verus to only one channel, single channel graphic multimeter and dual channel lab scope, because this Verus can only communicate with one of the lab scopes, one that's physically attached to the machine, that's built in, or the wireless unit. You can't talk to both of them at the same time. You just have to do one or another. Now I can show you guys real quick how to how that's done. So before in order to do that, we have to sync this unit. Okay, so you go to the scope meter. Now we can see that we have on the lab scope, we have a 4-channel lab scope, and we have a dual channel graphic multimeter. Now, as I said, if we want to use it as the let me see if I can turn this just a little bit. That will work. Once we sync with this tool, then again you're gonna have only a single channel on a graphic multimeter and dual channel on the lab scope. Okay, in order to do that, go to my menu, go to system settings, and you're going to go to pair devices, and you're going to turn your unit to this setting here, to the Bluetooth, and okay, now we're going to press add. Now press OK, so the battery is going to look for any module that's nearby that I can pick up the signal from. So most of the time I have to do it twice. I'm not sure why, but that's just you will not recognize the unit right away. I have to do it twice. So right now it's just searching for. Actually, it did recognize. Seems like it's the verdict M2 4511, and it's the 4511. You guys can see that. Okay, cool. Alright, so now I'm going to sync with this unit, and then we're going to go back to okay, now we are synced 4511, go back, and just go to a scope meter, or the lab scope, and now we can see it's a 2-channel lab scope, or, oh come on, graphic multimeter, it's a single channel graphic multimeter, okay? Alright, so if I want to go to a lab scope now, I'm just going to press the lab scope, 2-channel lab scope, and now this is going to turn green once they establish communication. There you go. And just because of the charger. So. Okay, so now it's a dual channel. Something interesting that I notice it now, that a little bit different. Now the lab scope and the graphic multimeter is pretty much the same. There's no, as any other, Snap-on unit, but something that I've noticed here is that now the channel 1 is actually, of course, red. It's not yellow anymore. Channel 2 is still green, and we do not have an option to filter the signal anymore. We have a peak detect, but we don't have a filter anymore. So let's go to setup here, trace 1. We got a peak detect, but we don't. We can't. We cannot filter the signal, so I'm not sure why, but that's just the way it is. It still works. Sometimes a little noisy. I wish they had a filter, but they don't. So I don't know. So okay, I'm going to a. Let's see. I'm just going to close this. I'm going to exit because so now I'm going to use my verdict to just hook it up, and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. I'm going to plug it into my mass airflow sensor. It's a digital, 0 to 12, I believe, signal. So I got my sorry, red lead connect to my signal on my mass airflow sensor. So I'm just going to plug it into the red port, and the black is connected to the ground, and let's start the car. Okay, so this is the volts. Let's go frequency. Here's my frequency. This is the graph frequency. See, I'm going to go to range. I need to increase my there you go. Again, it's a little noisy. Unfortunately, it does not have the filter. Oh, and then if we go to left scope setting, we're gonna see the left scope. We're gonna see there's a signal. We can change the time a little bit. Now the trouble is you can't go back, you just have to go one direction until you just keep pressing the button until you get your time that you want it. Okay, there's and it's a pretty good signal. Let's see, you can freeze the signal. Let's see if I can change the voltage a little bit. Ah, come on. Well, you can see the. I'm trying to get the. There you go. So that's the signal. It can be used. I mean, it's pretty good. But again, I'm not really crazy. It's for good testing. Just to verify the signal. It works fine. So let's go to a. The wireless now, and now I'm gonna hook it up to my verdict. And when we are hooked up to a main unit, it's pretty much the same. There's absolutely no difference. You guys, whoever used these lab scopes before, it's pretty much the same. Now the verdict, it's a full functional scan tool, and also a lab scope and a graphene multimeter. But it can only, as a graphene multimeter and the lab scope can be only be done through this module. This unit does not have any, scope, hooked up to the back of the tool. It can only be used through this unit. So, and I'm going to go to the scope meter now. And the lab scope, original lab scope. And now you can see it synced in, and this is my signal here. So, and now, I got a freedom to walk around and do whatever, and I'm no longer hooked up to the wires and all that. So when you are setting this unit with the vertical Verus, all you gotta do is just to hook up your leads. You don't have to do any kind of settings here. You're gonna do everything through your main unit. So now I can simply go into the car and rev the engine up or whatever I need to do, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I like it. Here we go. And again, we have all the functions are the same. You can save your files. You can stop. You can use your cursors. Everything is pretty much the same. Something I did notice when you zoom out, it takes a little while, which I don't like it. It takes quite a bit actually to zoom out the waveform. So you can see it takes, and I don't know, that's just the way it is. You can see that's kind of slowly going over, but once it zoomed out, it's pretty much the same as other lab scopes, Snap-on lab scopes. It just takes a lot longer for some reason. I'm not sure why is that. Is it a transfer of data maybe or something? I don't know. It shouldn't be, but and you can see I got two channels now. I have one channel I turned it off, and this is just regular leads. Sorry. And we have a trigger, and it's all the same. It's for quick testing. Is actually pretty nice. I mean, I like it. I really enjoy using this little setup. It's nice when you do the test drive and all that. So, and you can see now we can move the cursor. I'm going to zoom in. So it's all the same. It just takes longer to zoom out. I don't know why. And here is the same. You got your time, base, your voltage, cursors and everything. So. Okay, well that's all I want to show you guys. I mean, let's go the graphing multimeter, and you can see the pressure, amperage, volts, DC. I mean, everything is pretty much the same. And I actually did try my aftermarket pressure transducer. It works fine. And frequency. And you can see that's just, I don't know, I mean, I wish they had the option to filter the signal. So And we can see the snap, but it's really a lot of harsh. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe I've been trying to figure out, you know, how to filter this, but there's just not an option there. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Got a peak detect, inverted, AC coupled, scale slope, and all that, but no option to filter the signal. So especially the frequency really gets choppy. So I don't know. Alright guys, well, this is my new toy. I like it, I really do. I mean, I wish they had that for the graphing multimeter. It would be better to have a filter, but it is what it is. Okay guys, well, thank you so much. I hope somebody's going to find this informative, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.